The AT Oil Temp light on the dash of your Subaru vehicle means that probably you have the problem with the automatic transmission, maybe with the CVT or conventional automatic transmission, but mostly with the CVTs. And you need to know that the problem may be with the wiring and sensors, and you may just get wrong readings of the temperatures in the transmission. And the problem may be exactly with the transmission overheating. And there is one pretty simple method how you can check that. First of all, you need a good scanner that you can plug into your car, and this scanner should give you the actual temperature of the transmission fluid. It's not that hard to find one. Any good scanner will show that. And secondly, you need a temperature gun. This is a thermometer that can quickly check the temperatures of a certain surface. So you need to drive with the OBD2 scanner plugged into your car. You need to drive till you get this message, and at this moment you need to register the temperature that your OBD2 scanner shows. And at the same time, with the temperature gun, you need to check the temperature of the transmission oil pan. And if the transmission oil pan shows pretty normal readings, so it's a normal temperature for your transmission, but you still get this oil temp or AT Oil Temp warning, it means that the problem is with the sensor or wiring. It's not that huge problem, and the transmission is actually not overheating, it's okay. But if the readings of the OBD2 scanner temperature and the actual temperature of the oil pan are more or less equal, it means that your transmission is overheating, and probably it's even not worth investing money in this transmission anymore unless it has low fluid level. So if it has low fluid level, of course you should have identified it even before you watched this video. But if the fluid level is okay, everything is quite good with the transmission, but it overheats, most likely it started sleeping, because this is a CVT, and if it started sleeping, you will start replacing one thing after another, and you will invest thousands of dollars in this transmission. You should better get some replacement. Also, these transmissions often have problems with the valve body, and if you register that the temperature of the transmission is actually okay, but it throws this AT Oil Temp warning, it means that the problem with the sensor, wiring, valve body or anything, and you may replace this valve body. It costs about $700,000 in the dealership. It's not that expensive, and you can actually use your transmission for several more years. The problem is that replacing the temperature sensor in this Subaru CVT is impossible because it's integrated into the valve body, so you anyway will have to replace the valve body. Also, one more thing you should check if your transmission actually overheats is the level of the coolant in your radiator. Of course, you need to check the coolant in the coolant tank first of all, but then if the coolant tank is okay, you need to check the level of coolant in the radiator, because if it's low, it means that the heat exchanger in the transmission may not be working properly right now. Of course, you shouldn't touch anything in the coolant system when the car is hot. Let it cool down for at least 20-30 minutes before you open the coolant tank cap or the radiator cap. I have seen cases when people had their Subaru transmissions serviced by not so good mechanics, and they used wrong CVT fluid, and it led to this issue, AT Oil Temp. Not because the transmission was actually bad, but because the fluid was not appropriate viscosity, and it caused problem with the torque converter. But according to what I see with the Subaru vehicles, if this AT Oil Temp shows up between 100 and 150,000 miles in your Subaru vehicle, it means that the CVT is about to die, and a lot of people will start throwing money at their transmissions, and eventually they end up replacing the CVT in the range of 5-10,000 miles. So the average lifespan of this transmission is 100 to 150,000 miles, and you shouldn't expect much more than that.